Blog Talk Radio.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, bonjour. In Spain, hola. In Italy, ciao. In Egypt, ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, akwaba. In Nigeria, peleo. In South Africa, sawubona. In Senegal, nangadef. In Kenya, jambo. In Israel, shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening. Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us today on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Welcome to your Monday morning mindfulness. To start your week off with the Mindfulness Stress Relief Session. Today's show is dedicated to the mayor of Bronzeville, the former mayor of Bronzeville. Well, he'll always be the mayor of Bronzeville in my mind, and probably in yours too if you're from Chicago. And if you're calling from another country, chances are you may not know who Herb Kent, the cool gent, was who made his transition. Herb will be with me today in spirit. He'll be with us all in spirit today. He was born into this world October 5th, 1928, and made his transition October 22nd, 2016. So he is in radio heaven somewhere, teaching people how to enunciate and have fun on the radio. When you're calling in today, if you can remember any of the characters from the Herb Kent, the Cool Jet radio show, jacking those dusties on a Saturday morning, if you can remember any of those characters that he had on his show. Let us know what they are. My favorites were the Electric Crazy People. Do you remember the Electric Crazy People? Do you remember the Wahoo Man? The Wahoo Man. And last but not least, the Gym Shoe Creeper. Wow. Those were some characters. You know, when radio first began, it was labeled as theater of the mind. So in order to keep people interested, you had to come up with ideas. That's what producers did and still do. Come up with ideas to keep the audience engaged. And those are three characters that will always stand out in my mind for the mayor of Bronzeville. That's Haaque. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to my radio sister, Maureen Forte, on the Mo Show. And today's topic is the accused. OMG, the accused, from Brett Kavanaugh to Bill Cosby. Well, we have a very special guest today who's going to be joining us, a continuing contributor, Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque. And he will speak to us on the conversation as we discuss this fake news and this smoke screen that we are being bombarded with, because the truth of the matter is there is so much more than what meets the eye. And there are a number of things that we need to be concerned with besides the politics that's going on in the world. So let us keep that in mind today. When you call in, if you can tell me what the topic is today, you stand to win a copy of a book that someone gave me. It's entitled Flipping Vegas, Scott and Amy Yancey, Flipping Your Way to Real Estate Profits. So that book is available to you as well. If you are listening online, we do Mindfulness 21-Day Stress Relief Home Practice Journal, as well as the Innovative Mindfulness Breakthrough System. It's an audio program. And you can win that just by listening to the Female Solution, Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks, on Monday Morning Mindfulness. And if you're calling in, the number is 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And if you're online listening, you can join our Facebook page, The Female Solution, as well as Zelda Speaks. And you can send me your comments and your questions on Zelda Speaks or Twitter and Instagram, either of those. Let us keep in mind and to keep prayers for the sick and the shut-in, those that are experiencing disaster, especially in the South Carolinas and the Philippines, just in the Middle East, everywhere. And there's war at home. There's war in our families. So let us remain in prayer for those who are not doing so well, especially the sick and the shut-in. I don't know if you remember or not, last week I told you about my mother-in-law who has dementia, and she is a breast cancer survivor, and she has dementia as well. Well, she's in the hospital this morning, not doing well. So please keep Annie Slaughter in your prayers. No one wants to see a relative leave, but God has control of that, and we are thankful for your prayers. And remember to set those DVRs for the Higher Learning Network TV show, Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. on Channel 19 at Central Standard Time. And you can always, if you can't catch it on television, it's available on the internet 24/7 at higherlearningnetwork.org. And be sure and visit our YouTube channel, Higher Learning Network TV show channel, and you'll get a chance to see some of the shows. I just uploaded yesterday the 2018 Gene Siskel Legacy Award, where our very own Chicagoan legendary actress, filmmaker, radio, TV personality, LaDonna Tittle, or Tittle in the middle, was awarded that award, the Gene Siskel Award, Film Center Award, last month in August, and I had the pleasure of taping it. So I just uploaded it, so I hope you'll get a chance to see that show today. And as always, it is that time of the morning where we spend time, some quiet time, because not everyone gets a chance to do a breathing exercise or just sit and have a cup of tea or a cup of whatever you have in the morning and just be at one with the one, the Creator, the omnipotent Spirit that is responsible for your waking up this morning, because many people did not wake up this morning. And there are some who did wake up and who need assistance. They couldn't lift their own body out of the bed. So consider yourself fortunate if you don't have a breathing apparatus on. Lots of people sleep with the CPAP machine. I know of several who do. And sometimes illnesses come, I'm not going to say sometimes, I'm going to say usually. Illness comes in our lives to grab our attention to some of our daily habits that may not be in our best interest. I know I had some popcorn yesterday, and I listened to Vietta's show, Health and Wellness, on Fridays from 7 to 9 a.m., and I heard her say it too. You know, popcorn is just not our friend because the body's enzymes were not made to digest popcorn, but we eat it anyway. And so today I'm suffering for it. My nose is a little runny, and I know that's too much information, but I just thought I'd share it with you because we all have habits that are not that don't serve us well. So let us keep in prayer the sick and the shut-in. And my very best girlfriend of 50 plus years, Deborah Peterson, who is in the hospital. I'm not sure if she's out today. I don't think she is. I haven't heard from her today. But please keep her in your prayers too, Deborah Peterson. She's not feeling well this morning. So if you have someone that you'd like to join us this morning on the prayer line, just call and speak their name, because we believe in healing, and all healing begins in the mind. And today is the first of the month, and we are going to start with the mind, the first of the month. Today's reading is taken from Inspirational Conversations, Volume 2, with Shalom Israel, a.k.a. Zelda Speaks, and it says, as the season of fall arrives, the leaves begin to change colors. As humans, similar to nature, we have the ability to change like a chameleon when needed. How so? We play the corporate games and put on our game face at work. At work, at home, we play our roles with family and friends. With ourselves, it's another role. Most of us don't even know how to be true to ourselves because we're so busy playing so many roles. We forget to take off our game face and just be ourselves. Spending quality time with self is one of the greatest challenges. Chances are we don't get quiet and listen to the still, small voice within until there's a crisis in our lives. Many of us don't even know what we want because society is always telling us what we want. Commercials tell us we have to have their products in order to be happy. Take a moment to think about how you'd feel if you spent more time on self than you spend on others. Little food for thought for you. That's taken from Inspirational Conversations, Volume 2, with Shalom Israel, a.k.a. Zelda Speaks. And it is available on my website, zeldaspeaks.com, and you simply click on products. Training is if you want the information on how to make money on Amazon or how to self-publish and things of that nature. So I hope you've enjoyed your Monday morning meditation word of the day as we prepare for the Monday morning mindfulness meditation. So let us begin to get still, get quiet, and close our eyes. Sit up straight in your chair. Feet flat on the floor, nothing in your hands to your side, back erect, closing your eyes. You should be looking at nothing but the inside of your eyelids, and begin to breathe through the nose, taking a long, deep inhale to the count of 6, holding it for a hot second, and then releasing it to the breath to the count of 6. So let us begin. Inhale deeply to the count of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once more. Inhale deeply. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now continue counting and breathing to yourself. And as you are breathing, I want you to feel the breath in your body. You should feel your chest rise as you inhale. If you don't, chances are you're not breathing deep enough. So keep that in mind as you breathe. And remember, the breath that you take today is the breath that you've been blessed with by the Spirit of God that says you have more work to do on this planet. Because if it were not so, the breath would not be there. So the fact that you awaken this morning, a sign that your work continues. We give thanks for the breath that allows us to continue the work. Inhaling deeply, knowing that we are always, always, always at the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. Even if it appears to be a misstep in the wrong direction, sometimes we have to go in the seemingly wrong direction in order to get to the right road. And as we breathe and continue to think these thoughts and breathing through the nose, inhaling deeply, holding it and exhaling, we will focus our attention on the top of the head, where the energy will continue to move throughout the body, beginning at the top of the forehead, circling on down through the eyebrows, the eyelashes, the eye sockets, the eyeballs, the cheeks, the chin, the nose, the ears. Oh, what a blessed head we have. Bless that head. Give thanks for that head. The head houses the brain, which sends signals throughout the body to continue doing the miraculous work that it does as it keeps us alive. What a blessing. Breathe on that blessing. And as the breath continues, the energy continues to circulate throughout the neck, the nostrils, the earlobes, the shoulders, the collarbone, moving on down to the solar plexus, the breasts. Yes, the breasts. Those who have been blessed with breasts and those who have had them removed, do keep in mind that you are not the objects of your body. It's only an extension of who you are. The breasts come to serve in many ways, and we give thanks for the breast as all internal organs, the heart, liver, lungs, spleen, pancreas, the spine. Oh, yes, the spine, which is sitting erect as we continue to breathe in and give thanks for the breath, as the energy continues to move down to the lower region, to our reproductive organs, to the hips, to the genitals, the buttocks, the thighs, the hips. Ah, yes, we give thanks as the energy continues to circulate and percolate and move throughout the thighs, the knees, the shins, the legs, the ankles. Oh, we give thanks for the breath as it moves throughout the body, through the heels, the arches, the ankles, yes, the toes, the top and the bottom of the feet. Feel free to wiggle them if you need to. And wiggle the fingers. And take a long, deep breath. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, give thanks for all the energy that encompasses in your body and circulates and percolates and keeps you healthy and mindful of the breath that you breathe so that you can continue to do the assignment you have been given on the planet. Because if you were not supposed to be here to complete the assignment, your breath would be gone. As we give thanks for the breath. Inhale deeply. And this time, we will repeat the words out loud because I am are two of the most powerful words on the planet. I am. Whatever words you utter after the words I am is exactly what you are. And if it has not manifested on the physical plane, it's okay. You still keep repeating it until it becomes true. I am happy. I am healthy. Repeat it with me. I am whole and complete just as I am. I need nothing and no one outside of me because the Creator gave me this body and this mind to use for the good of humanity. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete. Yes, I am. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete. Inhale deeply. And this time as you exhale, bring your chin to your chest. And as you do that, rotate the head to the left, slowly, slowly, slowly. You should just be getting to the left and slowly bringing it around to the back. You may feel a pop in your neck. It's only fluid that is moving. As you move the head to the back, slowly bringing it around to the right, slowly, 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 just getting to the right and bringing it around to the middle of your chest, chin to chest, reversing the head, bringing it over to the right, slowly, 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 feeling the increments of the neck in the body, slowly bringing that neck around to the back. Slowly, slow down, moving too fast, slow down, slowly. You should just be getting to the left. And then slowly bringing it around to the right, chin to chest, looking straight up. And now looking to your left, as far as you can take the neck, bringing it around to the right as far as you can, and bringing it back around to the front. Wiggling your fingers and your toes and moving those shoulders, getting the fluids moving in the body, giving thanks. You may hear a few pops and things of that nature, and that's a good sign. You can hear. That's a good sign. And as you take your long, deep breath, inhale deeply. Give thanks that this is the breath that will sustain you throughout the day when chaos and confusion enters into your space. And know that this is a practice that you can do on your own. And you don't have to do it for 5 minutes. You can do it for 10 seconds. Begin the process of breathing when you are alarmed, when you feel attacked. That breathing sends a signal to the brain to slow down, to don't react, because everything is in divine order. Just remember that this is a test. When someone confronts you, brings the illusion of chaos and confusion into your life, just know that it's a test. And begin to breathe deeply. And as you do so, chances are they will look at you as if you have lost your mind, and it's okay because you are in the right mind space. And hopefully you'll have a little garlic or a little onion on your breath, and that will persuade them to step back. And as you continue to breathe, to gather yourself in that moment, to think before you speak and not attack, to respond and not react, will help you keep your day centered. And I hope that is something that you can share and practice with your loved ones in your community. And when you call in this morning, please share that information, what that breathing exercise has done for you. And you may do so at 515-605-9325. And remember to press 1 so that we can know that you are on the line. That's 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And if you are listening via online on the internet, we'd love to have your comments, your thoughts, and your suggestions, if you have any, about today's subject, and which is the accused, from Bill Cosby to Brett Kavanaugh. We are being bombarded with information called fake news that draws our attention to that which is really not important, that is really not for our well-being. And we sometimes forget that we are being programmed, just as this program, the Female Solution, Higher Learning, is a program designed with you in mind to keep you in focus of what's really important in life. Because the powers that be do not have your best interests at heart. And as we bring on our morning guest today, Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque, who will enlighten us on the subject and what we need to know and how we really need to operate in the midst of this madness. Grand Rising, Lionel Abdul Haaque, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, peace be with you and your listening audience. Grand Rising to all of you, and welcome. Glad to have an opportunity to share and exchange ideas with you again today.
And thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to bless us with your presence, because we always get comments and questions about when is Brother Lionel Abdul coming back on the show. Well, for those who just tuned in, Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque is here this morning of Community Cultivations, and he's here to cultivate our minds this morning, to plant some seeds. And those seeds come in the form of conversation about the accused, what's going on in the media, in the world, and how we have been directed to pay attention to things that are really a smokescreen. So, Lionel, this morning we're talking about the accused, from Brett Kavanaugh, Bill Cosby, and we'd like to begin the conversation to speak on that.
Well, I first of all would like to send out a prayer for all those people who are dealing with the tsunami and earthquake that took place in Indonesia over the weekend. And, it's a very serious situation where not only that, but, the number of catastrophes that are going on, both man-made and natural catastrophes. And I can't help but think that there's a correlation between the two that we need to be mindful of, that people are losing their lives Uh, there's an upheaval going on. Just as there's a conflict between people that are divided, right down the middle on various issues of right and wrong, good and evil. That has consequences where thrown out of balance, and I believe that has an effect. That everything that we do has an effect on the environment, and consequent vice versa. So, from my perspective, as it relates to this issue of the accused, it all ties into the balance and having the good judgment, and the idea of Judgment Day is very much connected to people's understanding of what's going on in the world and how intensely people are arguing or taking positions. It's almost as if their life depended on it, or if the divine judgment is going to come against them if they do or they don't do certain things. So these are very elemental factors that have to be considered in getting to the root, the bottom, the understanding where the roots are, where the things really start to happen before you see anything happening. This is what we need to really try to focus on. So at least that's what community cultivations endeavors to get people to do. Think beneath the surface of things and to really get to the root of things. Not just to react to what's going on today without reflection on what happened yesterday. And so, what happens in the day is basically what started in the night. And so we have to be cognizant of getting a balanced perspective so that our judgment and our reactions will be more likely, more lasting and thorough and complete. So in this discussion, we also want to include this movie because, we do movie reviews and have been doing movie reviews for quite some time with community cultivations consultants in the context of getting us to look beneath the surface of things, to dig deep and to understand that there's more to what we call culture than just entertainment. That culture, just like agriculture, begins in the ground. It begins beneath the surface. It begins with people having an agenda, an idea that they want to bring from infancy to maturity, out of darkness into light, from beneath the surface to the point where it bears fruit. And so there's a process that takes place. And I've found in my studies, and by the grace of Allah, to whom all praise is due, for setting up these processes and who controls the balance and is seeking to evolve us to higher and higher levels of consciousness so that we will have better judgment about things. And so this movie, The Accused, is very much a part of this discussion that we like to have today.
Wonderful. I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking about the movie and how many people have seen that movie, but we're going to take a break and come back and discuss that very shortly. If you just tuned in, you are listening to Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks, and my guest today, returning guest, is Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations, and we are discussing the accused from Bill Cosby to Brett Kavanaugh. You stay close, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection.
Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on Cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. And other cities, check your local cable listings.
Do you worry about finances, family, health, job, relationships? Are you in pain? Do you feel stuck? If you answered yes to any of these questions, help is available. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's part of the human process. You only feel this way because you haven't mastered the voices in your head. No hype, just down-to-earth, solid, workable tools and techniques that you can practice daily. It's really food for the soul, whether you want to learn how not to worry about anything, reverse type 2 diabetes, publish a book, promote your product or service, or just make extra money. To take advantage of the deal of the day, go to zeldaspeaks.com or call 312-409-6619. Mention promo code The Female Solution and get free shipping. That's zeldaspeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit zeldaspeaks.com.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Community and police need to come together again. Police need to walk the streets, get to know the citizens. They can ride the buses, the L, the subways, and once again, become the officer friendly we always hear about. Police are the front line between us and the criminal element. As mayor, I will begin a program to assure they will get to know us as our neighbors.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hi, this is Maika, and I want you to join me every Thursday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And let's talk about it. There are so many interesting things to talk about, and we have many thought-provoking discussions. We have amazing guests on the show, and you'll find real transparency, a really peaceful environment, also a healing environment as we do EFT and other healing modalities to bring ourselves into congruence and balance. It's also a child-friendly environment. And we have an open mic. All you have to do is press 1 to be heard and to say what you have to say. No fear, no fake, real truth. That's what you'll find on my show. Visit our archives at The Female Solution on Blog Talk Radio and listen to past discussions that are intriguing. Call 505-615-9325. Invite a friend and listen in, and I'll see you then on Blog Talk Radio. Let's talk about it with Maika every Thursday.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Hi, this is Beata, your holistic life coach, and I'll be joining the Female Solution family every Friday morning to assist you in your journey to abundant health. Together, we can reduce the stress, which most health professionals agree is a major contributor to disease. Every Friday, I'll be sharing the knowledge I've gained from over 20 years in the holistic health field. The word holistic simply means taking into consideration mind, body, and spirit to balance and heal your human self. I am truly excited to be able to serve you on the Female Solution.
Thank you for joining us back here on Female Solution, your Monday morning mindfulness with Zelda, the mindfulness stress relief coach. Hope your weekend was a good one, and we are joined again by our special guest, Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations, discussing the accused. And that's how I met you, Lionel, when I was on commercial radio at Gospel Radio 1390, which is now Inspirational Radio 1390. And you were, was it WJPC? Was it? Well, what doesn't matter. Anyway, you were doing movie reviews at the time, and you had such a unique perspective. I was like, wow, I never looked at it like that. So we appreciate you joining us this morning and giving us your insight into the cursed. Please continue with the conversation.
Well, thank you, Zelda. And I think one of the most insightful things that I could share is how consistency plays a part in the development of ourselves as human beings. When we talk about, people say that all of us have a gift, and that all we have to do is discover what our gift is, and we'll realize our full potential. It's something deep within. It's part of the very nature of creation and life. The spark of life is a very, very as well as scientific, and you have to really be serious. You have to have a serious desire to want to understand, to want to know, because that's where the real power is. It's in our spiritual life, our mental and spiritual life. And we have been misled, bamboozled, run amok, and led astray into thinking that putting all our emphasis on the external, the superficial, that which is represents the vain, the materialistic, the dead, that which is what is called matter, is really energy in its most stagnant form. So the real freedom, the real idea of freedom is to release and not restrict, control the movement of that energy. Let that energy flow from one state to another, from one stage of development to another based upon the need that they perceive in the environment. And so the accused is about, in the news today, the thing that really brings people to the issue is accusing people, men in particular, of sexual abuse and wrongdoing, taking advantage of women, priests taking advantage of their their followers and their children, people allowing their children to be cuddled and favored by priests. Sit on the priest's lap is like sitting on Santa Claus' lap. And the idea of putting your putting your trust in things that in people based upon their perception, your perception, how deep your perception is, and the role that history plays in shaping our social reality today. The idea of accusing people was what the Inquisition was all about in Europe, where women were being called witches and were being burned at the stake. Heretics, people who disagreed with the authority of the church were considered to be demonic, devils, witches, and so the law, the idea of being able to address your accuser and having due process of law to evaluate accusations and the serious consequences, having serious consequences for people who falsely accuse is something that we haven't really given a lot of thought to. But it's all part of the judgment process in getting to the truth and finding out what is the best way to deal with certain issues. Because it can't be just an emotional reaction. You can't just universally it is clear that being thoughtful, being under control, having a sense of balance to your temperament in evaluating serious and sometimes emotional issues is what makes it judicial prudence to be able to control oneself under fire. And so these are the things we want to talk about. The movie The Accused emphasized a situation where a woman was raped in a public bar, a movie starring Jodie Foster. And how that could happen, and with women in the bar as well,
is beyond me.
Well, I mean, this is the thing about this is a movie that I did a long time ago, when it first came out, actually, and some movies that take me a long time. Because it comes quite quick. But it's still thought processes that go involved, and this is a story that has many layers, deep layers that are well beneath the surface of the story. But the more you look at these things, the more it affects your judgment about who the accused is and what is the process for evaluating truth and falsehood.
And the falsehoods are among us. It is always among us to keep the truth hidden. And that's why we have shows like this on the Female Solution to enlighten us. And our listeners, if you are listening online and you would like to join the conversation, feel free to leave your comments and thoughts at zeldaspeaks.com. Facebook, Zelda Speaks, or Twitter and Instagram. I am on them both right now. And if you're calling in at 515-605-9325, we'd love to have your conversation. Join the conversation. Remember to press 1 to speak as we go through the lines and open up 312-802. Grand Rising. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Grand Rising, and I'm a star. The spirit in me beats the spirit in you. This is Minister Williams here in Chicago, baby. I just love you are awesome, Zelda. You're awesome. When I listen to you, you have fantastic people on. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
I can hear you, but it's not coming clear.
Not coming clear? Okay, hold on.
You sound a little muffled, just a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good, very good. This movie is awesome. I'm listening to him, very intelligent, and I love the fact that he pointed out the spiritual, because that's where I'm as a metaphysician and as a gifted individual. But that talent that I say to everyone that we all have once we recognize it. But that spiritual essence is true. The human consciousness is what keeps us from understanding who we are spiritually. And people like yourself and myself, we're here to educate and lift up people because we've gone through our own process. But as far as The Accused, that's an old movie. And I looked at that movie intently. I like Jodie Foster and how she played her roles. But I think there was a point, and I'm sorry I didn't get the point of why you guys are dealing with The Accused. It's because Bill Cosby and all these other men who have been accused. Is that the point?
Well, it's all connected.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all associated with the idea of sexuality and the images of manhood. Men. I mean, from one of my earliest images of manhood and his relationship with women as a child was the image of a caveman hitting a woman over the head with a club and dragging her in a cave.
Yeah. Well, I think what's so important, sir, is that, as we say on the Female Solution constantly, is that women are the first teachers. And one of the points I wanted to make, I have a daughter who has grandsons, but I emphasized to her to at least, with them having the testosterone running through their bodies, to teach them empathy, caring about others, and humanity, caring about what's going on in the world. And that would balance out that testosterone, aggressive nature, respect for others, respect for your body, respect for your spirituality. I'm helping to encourage her. She's a beautiful, when I say young woman, she's a good girl. This is what I say. She's 50, I'm 70. I always say my daughter's a good girl. And she's a good girl, woman. I mean, she has that honesty and integrity that I taught her through the grace of the higher power. Because I gave her over to the higher power. And I asked higher power to help me to parent her. Because I went through hell as a child. And I didn't want to have to go.
We hope you keep up the good work, sister.
But I really want to get into the Bill Cosby issue, and I think as a people, African descendant, Kemet descendant, we really don't know our history. It's not being taught in schools. It's not being educated in our family structures. The real history of our people. And coming from the South myself, I recognize Emmett Till was killed when I was a little girl. The whole community and my mother was eating, crying. And I kept looking at her, and she kept saying, they killed him, they killed him. So I started crying, so I was about 5. And it turned out it was Emmett Till. I didn't know until I became an adult.
Okay, I hate to cut you off. How does that relate to today's subject, The Accused, though, Minister Cynthia?
The fact that these Caucasian men were rightly accused of murdering and killing that young boy. And so the thing is, you might say that was obvious, but with the news at that time, the black news really got down there and portrayed and put out the information. But one thing also, let's go to Harold Washington. When he was mayor, I happened to be riding the bus, and his brother was on the bus with me. And I said something to him about the challenges that his brother was going through and how the news was projected. And he said, ma'am, you got to remember that these are news makers. So when you guys talk about false information, they are news makers. So they put language and words in a way that it can be, well, it's not right. Example, you mean to tell me, they always say, and I talked to my sister about it, that when these men go out and kill and murder and all these things, that they're bipolar. And my daughter and my sister, I said, they're making it simple. They're moving everybody that has mental problems, thought disorders, as bipolar, and that's not right. That's not right because you make a judgment. Go ahead, darling. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that the idea of part of what we try to do with our programs is to get people to recognize, as the young people say, and get real, as the young people say, in terms of coming out of the confusion that is created through acting and fantasy, magic, and we got the Halloween thing coming up that confuses good with evil. The association of good and evil is what is called cognitive dissonance. The consequence of it is what is called cognitive dissonance. It is a psychological disorder that is at the root of schizophrenia, bipolar, all of it. Because once you start to confuse right and wrong, good and evil, your cognitive abilities suffer as a consequence. You can't help but have bad judgment if you've been in your fundamental early ages, childhood, given over to ideas of pulling rabbits out of hats and, Peter Pan never grow up syndrome, and Mickey Mouse, Magic Kingdom. This idea is planted in our minds as children. And I heard on one of the advertisements for political advertising that the first from 3 to 12 years old is the most primary time for a child's mental development, cognitive development. So if you're giving them BS basically to feed on, you are laying a very shaky foundation for his adult development, spiritual and psychological.
I agree with you. That's true, very true. I wanted to make one more statement about Bill Cosby, and even when he was being accused of all those white women, and then the few black women came through and said he had used that. And see, being 70 first years, I know about what happened back then because it was called Spanish Fly, and I was told when I was a young woman to be careful about if I was drinking. To be careful with my drink. And they used to call them Mickeys in the 50s. But it was Spanish food. And I was told that men would take advantage of me if I didn't wash my drink or whatever. They put that in my drink. So when he was doing
the drink itself, sister, the drink itself is part of the process by which we've been socialized to seek to relieve what they call inhibitions and become more sociable in an environment, a mixed environment of male and female. So the drinking itself, the whole idea of parties, the whole idea of interacting socially with people is a new idea. It is a modern idea. It's part of the modern world's socialization process. The further back you go in history, the less that kind of thing was going on because it was considered to be a violation of fundamental principles guarding relationships between men and women. In the context of spiritual life, religious life in particular, the further back you go, the more protected the idea of male and female relations was. I mean, people taking their clothes off and deliberately seeking to be sexually provocative in their dress within the last 50 years. That didn't happen more than 50 years ago. And the further back you go, the more of a taboo it was. The idea of fornication, the idea of sex without marriage was not where it is today 50 years ago. And how we got here is part of the process of indoctrination. What the Holy Quran refers to of stripping Adam of his clothes and making him think that the leaves of the garden was going to protect him instead of the clothes he had on already.
We're being
So,
deceived.
yeah.
We're being deceived, and we
Misguided, yeah.
Yes, misguided. Well, we're going to guide you in the right direction this morning. If you just tuned in, it's 8 o'clock on the Female Solution, Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks, and my very special guest, Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations. We are speaking on today from The Accused, from Brett Kavanaugh to Bill Cosby. If you'd like to chime in, hang around, and we'll be right back. Stay close.
This is Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, spiritual counselor and advisor. I invite you to a private reading in the areas of business, health, finances, relationships for an introductory cost of $20. Please call because there is a higher power that can help me help you. 312-802-4743. Peace and blessings to you all. Call me. 312-802-4743.
Hi, this is Beata, your holistic life coach. Every Friday morning, I'm on the Female Solution. I'm also blogging live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Soul Purpose Healing, where I help you get back into alignment with the Creator's love, compassion, and wisdom. On Sunday, you can call in at 215-383-5863 or go to www.blogtalkradio.com/soulpurposehealing. When I'm not doing spiritual adjustments on Blog Talk Radio, I'm helping clients reduce the stress in their lives with EFT, essential oils, and cost-saving health plans like Ameriplan. Ameriplan is a better way to save money on your health care expenses. There is more information on how to contact me at www.yourholisticlifecoach.com. Till then, stay in joy.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. A previous mayor destroyed the great assets in the middle of the night, forcing corporate and private aircraft to land elsewhere. Jobs and revenue was lost, and convenient access to the business in the downtown area is gone. As mayor, I fully intend to reopen Magfield.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hi, I'm Beloved, and I'll be joining the Female Solution family on Saturdays from 12 noon to 2 p.m. with a brand new show entitled Women Entrepreneurs International. Women Entrepreneurs International empowers women to be financially free by starting their own home-based business. I look forward to being with you Saturday, 12 noon. Call in 515-605-9325. We, WEI, we are the answer.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Thank you for joining us back here on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. If you're listening online, you've just tuned in to Monday Morning Mindfulness. Be sure and leave your comments, thoughts, and suggestions on my Facebook page, Zelda Speaks, as well as if you are there, while you're there, be sure and check out the upload I just did for the CLEASE. It's resources. It's the Coalition of Limited English Speaking Elderly. I attended their annual meeting and dinner just this past week, and I was simply overwhelmed. There were people from all over the planet, from Indonesia and Asia, Chinese, Korean, Haitian, African American, European, Indian, you name it. Everyone was there, and it was certainly something that I'd never experienced before, and I just thought it was awesome that there was an organization out here such as CLESE, C-L-E-S-E, Coalition of Limited Speaking Elderly. I said that wrong. Coalition of Limited English Speaking Elderly, because in this society, women are just, I'm sorry, not women, but the elderly are tossed to the side. Once you reach a certain age, you're no longer young anymore and marketable to the garbage that they're sending in our direction. You know, it's like you're forgotten. That's what I love about the motherland, the continent of Africa, is that the older you get, the more respect you get. You're revered because you're a jewel in the community, because you have such knowledge and wisdom. So thank you, CLESE, for being there and being available. And if you need resources for the seniors in your family, be sure and check out my Facebook page, Zelda Speaks, and there's like 29 pages of resources. And the European American Association is one of those organizations in which I'm a volunteer at. And I love the fact that every time I go there, I learn something that I did not know before I got there. And this has been going on for 27 years. So the fact that there are organizations that they just do their very best, and I so appreciate them. And I appreciate you for joining us this morning. Today's show is dedicated to the former mayor of Bronzeville, Herb Kent, the Cool Gent, who made his transition October 5th of 2016. And I have very fond memories of Herb Kent. And you say, what does that have to do with today's show? Just because. That's why. Because Herb made a way for all of us. He was in radio for over 50 years, and I don't know how many people can say that they've been in radio over 50 years. Do you? I don't know of any. I don't know of. I'm sure they exist, but I just know them. I just know Herb Kent. So anyway, so thank you, and be sure and check out the website if you're looking for extra income. We're always looking for health ambassadors. Go to zeldaspeaks.com. Click on training if you'd like to learn how to make money on Amazon, as well as if you want to help people earn money who are diabetics. Go to diabeticdonut.com and send us an email, and we can help you with that. Remember to set those DVRs for the Higher Learning Network TV show, Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19 and 24/7 on the World Wide Web. And be sure and get your copy of On Air Magazine. You are listening to one of the shows on Air Magazine with our executive director, Naima Latif. So go to the Female Solution, and you will hear it. If you're calling in this morning, 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak, and we'd love you to join the conversation with Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations, and we're speaking on the accused. And we'd like to continue the conversation. Lionel, you were saying?
Well, I appreciate, the various insights that have come in, and I think it's important for us to think deeply and to have a sober, serious attitude towards solving, or we're trying to come to good judgment in all of these issues. And history has a role in this. And we talked about the Inquisition, where people were accused of being witches. Women were accused of being witches. People were accused of being against God and the church if they had any opposing ideas to what the church had put forward. And there were a lot of ideas that needed to be challenged, and particularly with regard to the role of sex in relationships. The whole concept of sex, from the Catholic Church perspective, medieval Catholicism was connected to the whole idea of original sin, and it was the whole idea of celibacy and not having sex with women was part of the whole historical root of where we are today, with these years and years of women holding these ideas, these stories, these terrible situations in their mind, and not coming forward because in many cases they themselves believed the ideas that led to their abuse, that they had that much of what is at the root of this issue has to do with the whole idea of what a woman is, what her role is in life, the role that she played in the garden, according to the biblical story of Adam and Eve, was that she seduced him. So, I mean, this is all connected. You can't separate this from the roots, and not bringing that light into the discussion makes the whole argument very hollow and shallow. And we need to get better understanding historically and go deep into these issues to get better judgment about how we can solve these problems.
And the only way, one of the ways that we can do that is to have open conversations about it, because so much of what is spoken, more importantly, is what is unspoken. And that's why we have this show. And if you're listening online, you'd like to comment, I can't even get the number right. I'm sure you have it. I'm about to give out my phone number on the air, 515-605-9325. We're going to the phone lines, area code 407-701, Grand Rising. And thank you for joining us this morning. Who's this? And where are you calling from?
This is
Grand Rising, Beata.
Grand Rising. I'm calling from or near Orlando, Florida.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Brother Lionel, I love hearing your wisdom, and I want to ask you, are you familiar with the term duality?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so as you were talking about good and bad and how we have to teach, what's the difference between evil and good, I start thinking about that term because this whole thing with Kavanaugh and his accuser has brought me to a new level of understanding. And, as we evolve, the things I read about evolving and becoming enlightened, it says we should drop this duality because just as you're talking about, there are levels of understanding, I call it, that we have to see from a higher perspective. So I want to know if you have seen in this case with Kavanaugh, for example, I think he's not guilty of sexual assault as much as he's guilty of, number one, being associated as a Jesuit in the Masonic order and having all this power that they have. And then being a judge, he's had some really kind of racist judgments for police officers instead of for the victims. And so I see that it's not good or bad that what's happening to him and his family is actually just judgment and the karmic energy that he has created being associated with these so-called evil Jesuits and Catholic Church. And, we're seeing how the Catholic Church has been doing these pedophile and abuses. And I think it's like anybody affiliated with the Catholic Church, you're going to have to reap what they have sown. And so I'm seeing more that this man is guilty of a lot more that's not even being talked about. And then the woman, the things that are coming out about her, it's not good or bad. It's that, she's affiliated with an abortion company, writing about abortion pills, and Dianne Feinstein has part ownership in this company. So it's almost like these women are being used to bring judgment or attention to this man who has all these activities in his life that need judging. But it's coming out in the courtroom, and we're seeing it played out in this really strange arena to me, where you got all these white faces and then the Democrat, and it's a battle, it's a war. So it's almost a war of duality and a war of seeing things from a higher perspective. What do you think?
Well, I mean, whether you call it higher or deeper, I think that it has to do with thinking through the issues beyond just the individuals who are involved. I think that from my perspective, the concept, the whole Me Too movement, Weinstein, the Hollywood casting couch culture. This is all part of it. It's all connected, and it's all coming to a head in the context of judgment. In the context of judgment and Judgment Day. So, I think, but in order to get a better understanding, overstanding, however you want to look at it, we have to be serious, and we have to think broader than just the individuals who are involved, and look at the big picture, which includes past, present, and the future, where we want to go and who's in charge, who's really in charge, and what lessons we can learn and grow to the next level.
Here we are debating about the Supreme Court position on earth, and yet I'm starting to see the Supreme Court in the cosmos and the heavens is really in control of all this BS. It's like, wow.
I think that's a beautiful analogy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a beautiful analogy. The concept
and it only comes, we can only see that if we sit back and observe without judgment. That's like a Kabbalah phrase I read about. Observe without judgment. Observe without judgment. And just start to look at what is the bigger picture, like you said, the deeper insight in this. And here we are. It's like a movie. I'm like, pass the popcorn. Don't get anxious. Don't get excited. Don't get mad. Don't get mad, because they're dividing. The media is really trying to divide and conquer, we know. And so if we play into the media, we're going to all be fighting and fussing. I've lost a couple of Facebook friends over this because their belief system is just so different from mine. Mm-hmm. And I say, that's okay. I don't need a whole lot of Facebook friends. I want to get out of that mess anyway. So it's like so interesting, this movie we're watching, and I think we should just all be encouraging people to chill and watch the movie. Don't judge. Just get the popcorn out and enjoy the show, because that's really all it is, because the Most High is in control, if you ask me, of this whole thing. We just have to understand why it's happening.
I think it's important. However, that we use our faculties as well in dealing with these issues, because and it's we can affect how other people respond by the example that we set.
I agree.
Yeah, that's so true. So thank you. I appreciate your wisdom.
All praise due to Allah.
And
Hallelujah.
we appreciate your calling. Hallelujah. We appreciate your calling in this morning, Sister Viata. We can and just as I have you on the phone, thank you so much for that wonderful show on Friday, Health and Wellness. This is the only show that I listen to on Friday where I do not get out of bed until the show is over, because.
And I have to tell you, I'm going to switch back to my landline, because I was trying to get in on my landline, but the one wouldn't work. And so I got to hang up on my cell because they're charging me when I hang. So I'm going to be listening on my landline.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And that's something I've noticed through my carrier, T-Mobile, is that when you I used to call in to the show and I didn't have a problem. Now all of a sudden, when you call in, they want to charge you I think it's $1 a minute or something like that. I'm like, who's going to pay $1 a minute to listen to a show? Well, I'm sure there are some people are.
No, it's 1 cent a minute, but when you're on for 2 hours, that adds up every day.
Yes, it does. And there's a number. You can call T-Mobile, too, if you're listening online and you want to join the conversation but can't press 1 because you're on the Internet. You can call T-Mobile and ask them there's another number that they give you to call in where you won't be charged. So do keep that in mind. So thank you for sharing that information with us this morning, Viata.
You're welcome. Have a good day, both.
Thank you. And you have a better one. Thank you so much for calling. And if you are listening online this morning, would like to join the conversation, the number is 515-605-9325. Lionel, you make a very good point there that we are still, in this day and age, we are still being bamboozled, and we can't see it because we are so tuned into this negative energy that controls our lives, and we're not even aware of it. We're just walking zombies, so to speak, for lack of a better word.
Well, the people who do this are very knowledgeable, and one of the things that they know is that human beings are people of habits, and you may get fired up about an issue today, but being able to sustain that energy, that serious concern, to move you to some serious commitment is not likely because of the powerful influences that interrupt our serious judgment. The emphasis on play, on amusement, on diversion, of escapism is a powerful influence that is habitually a part of the mindset that most people follow. They have to have their fun. They have to have their amusement, and the amusement puts you back in the matrix. And so people, the idea of the situation with LaQuan McDonald shooting and police misconduct is real. But it's also real that those same people who put that in place know that people are habitually influenced to play and to seek amusement and distraction and escapism. And that takes you back into the matrix, and you forget all about the serious commitment that you had yesterday.
Forgot all about it.
Consistency is important. That's why in the context of Scripture and wisdom of divine guidance, you have to pray not just when you're in trouble. You've got to pray all the time. You have to pray every day. You have to make prayer a part of who you are. Consciousness of God is not just when you get in trouble, not just when things are confusing. You should be constantly developing the habit, the acts of worship that will deepen your understanding and your connection to divine guidance. And the wisdom that comes from it only comes as a result of the work that you do to cultivate it. And so this is where we fall short. Yeah, practice makes perfect. The discipline of following something religiously, as they say, is what makes the blessings of that manifest. You can't get it just by lip service. You have to work.
By osmosis either. By osmosis, many think that you can get it just by being around it. No, you have to actually do the work. And people would rather work overtime on a job than spend an extra 5 minutes to an hour or a couple of hours on themselves, because that's just too much work. And I'm not getting paid for that. I need to go make some money. That's the general consensus.
Not fun. It's not fun either.
Right.
It's not considered.
It's not fun. And whether they know it or not, this is a practice. This Monday morning mindfulness is a practice because it equips you with the power and with the knowledge and the wisdom and the overstanding to take you to the next level. I always say a quote, Dr. Maya Angelou, my favorite poet, author, film writer, actress, director, who says, before you face the day, face God. And what that really is, it's a practice. And ancient scripture tells us that as well. If you read Ephesians 6, thank you, Carmen, for sharing that information. Read Ephesians 6, and it will tell you about the armor. And the armor is your spiritual armor. It's simply a practice, because it's like, if it's snowing outside today, and it will be sometime soon in Chicago, I don't look forward to it, but I know it's coming. So I have to prepare myself. I don't go outside without my socks and my boots and my scarf and my hat and my gloves. I have to prepare myself before I go outside, not just go outside and say, oh, it's snowing, I need to go back and get my boots. No, you prepare yourself before you face the winter, because you know the winter is coming. The same thing with our spiritual practices. If you choose to get up in the morning and run out the door without putting on your spiritual armor, you will be attacked. Guaranteed. As the CBers say, guaranteed, most told you. You will be confronted with chaos and confusion every single day. That's why we do the Monday morning mindfulness meditation. And I ask that you take it with you and share it, because we are in charge of this planet and we don't know it, or we've forgotten it. And until we share what we know, because the information didn't come with us to stay, it came through us to share. And that's what I love about you, Lionel, is that you are always sharing this information. You're a wealth of knowledge, and you don't mind sharing. So thank you for being the guided spirit that you are and sharing your information with our listeners here on Monday Morning Mindfulness on The Female Solution. So thank you, and our guests, thank you. Our listeners, thank you as well.
All praise be to Allah. I appreciate the opportunity, and in the giving, the more you give, the more you get. I mean, it's not just a cliche. It's just part of the process of development is to teach. To teach is to learn. To learn is to teach, and it's a perpetual process. You know, you grow. I can't tell you the number of times that I've had come to my mind for the first time while I was engaged in sharing what I thought I understood at the time. And it just took me to a whole new level just by sharing what I had. I got an understanding of it that I didn't have before.
How awesome
and
is that?
That is the connection with the higher source, the divine source that is present in the universe, that it rewards you for your obedience and your genuine, sincere effort to want to share and help somebody else to come to a better understanding. You get rewarded in the process of doing that in a way that you clearly understand came from a higher. All praise due to Allah. That's all I can say.
well, that was a mouthful, my brother, and I thank you for sharing that information. And if you'd like to share, you've got something you'd like to share, please feel free to do so at 515-605-9325. And remember to press 1 when you speak. And right now we're going to go to a very important message for you, because if you live in Chicago, chances are at some point in your life it's going to be cold in your house. So be sure and check this out.
Oh, man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark.
Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
While taxes do provide the funds to pay for our services, high taxes can drive business out of our city. Residents then go out of state to buy gas because our gas taxes are so high. And when they buy gas, they stop and buy many other items. Lowering gas taxes will keep those residents and dollars in our city.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Are you having challenges with your 2-year-old who has suddenly discovered they have a free will and has learned to tell you no? Are you having challenges with your 8-year-old who has suddenly learned how to tell untruths in order to avoid punishment? Are you having challenges with your 13-year-old who has suddenly realized that they know everything and you know nothing? Parenting is a challenge. Our children are here to learn and grow in understanding so that they can reach their highest creative potential and contribute to a new world of peace and harmony. To do our part as their teachers and protectors takes wisdom, patience, and skill. Join me, Naima Latif, and facilitator Mark Shahid on the Parenting and Family Reconstruction Learning Lab every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time on American Muslim 360 Blog Talk Radio. Tune in at www.blogtalkradio.com/American Muslim 360. Call in with your questions at 515-605-9891. That's 515-605-9891. Spare the rod. Love the child.
Hi, I'm Wanda Carter, producer of the Woman to Woman TV show. We'll be joining the Female Solution radio show on Sundays from 5 to 7 p.m. with a panel of women discussing everything from romance to finance in order to find solutions to the daily challenges we face. So get a pen, call a friend, and stay tuned in to the Woman to Woman show with Wanda Carter on the Female Solution radio show. Sundays, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment at 515-605-9325. Press 1 to join the conversation, and let's talk about it, woman to woman.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed, into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness sessions on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of Mindfulness on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening. And remember, when you call in at 515-605-9325 to share with me what this Monday morning mindfulness experience was for you, the breathing exercise. I'd like to know what you thought of that. And speaking of more mental health, tomorrow morning, mental health and gardening will be the subject. And that is going to be by our Tuesday morning host, Creating Solutions with Mama Joy, Global Community Ambassador. And our ambassador today is helping us out, Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations, on the subject of the accused. And we are often accused of doing and being of things that may or may not be true because it's a smokescreen. The real issues lie underneath. There's so much chaos and confusion in life, and we don't like to talk about therapy, but it's something we need to talk to about as people, because I was listening to, I can't believe what show it was, Lionel, might have been today, Taraji's last name, Taraji P. Henson, I think that's her last name, from Empire, was talking about how we, as a people of color, we look down on therapy because it's just something that we don't do. We keep things hidden in the closet, and eventually everything that's done in the dark always comes to light, and by that time it's exploding. And there's just things that we need to talk about. So that's what we do here on the Female Solution, because talking brings awareness. And we're glad that you are awake this morning and with us on Monday Morning Mindfulness. If you'd like to join the conversation, 515-605-9325. And going to the phone lines at area code 773-885. Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Mama Joy. Hallelujah. From
Mama Joy. Our Global Community Ambassador. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a must. It's a must. It's a must that I do. I'm a part of the crew.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. And you know, it's amazing. I don't know about anyone else, but I am enjoying the energy and the discussion. I'm enjoying watching. The Kavanaugh and the Ford, and seeing Anita Hill being brought back up. You know, it's amazing how conversations will take you right on back to say, hey, you know, her voice is being heard again. Again, yeah. Her not accusations, but her truth, I want to say. Her truth is being heard again. Something is drastically wrong. The Me Too movement has been going on for a long time. And, you know, and I'm just excited about the energy that is happening, because you know what? This wouldn't be if Trump had not gotten into the seat. I look at saying, hey, you know, these conversations that we're having, the conversations that we're having about the injustice, and the conversation we're having about the sexism, the conversation of the mental illness, the conversation of just when people are starting to stand up for their truth. my feelings about the Ford situation is that, it's a privilege and it's your right to speak your truth, to speak what is true, what has happened to you. And that to me is marvelous, for her courage to do that, for her to do that. Whether or not it was yesterday or 30 years ago, the point is that she still carries the damage. And because we have a society that has hushed up women so much and has hushed us up in the role that, because, and like you say, you don't talk about this. Because even myself in my molestation, I got molested, with a young boy. I mean, and it would hurt me because I was that was happened to me on the school grounds, not too far from my house, and I stayed out later than my dad and told me always, come back home before dark. But I was riding my bike, excited about riding my bike. And down south, I'm just riding. It got dark, but there was light. I could still see. And the young man grabbed me and did some things to me. And when I went, I fell, and I was able to get away from him at some point. And when I ran home, and my clothes was dirty, my hair was mussed up, my head leaves, and my daddy said, "What happened to you?" And all I could think of, sweetheart, was, dang, I was disobedient. I didn't do what my daddy told me. And so because of my fear of my being disobedient and the shame of how I felt in my body, I couldn't tell my daddy. I didn't even know what was down there. I didn't know what the vagina was. I didn't know what was between my legs. I didn't know these things. So I was sitting up here. There was a bad place. So for me to even speak on it now is a liberation. And so, I just thank God that that this time has come where voices can be heard and the pain can be heard, because that's our privilege. We're not responsible for how anybody interprets these things. But when you're trying to be liberated, emancipated from the garbage and from the lies and from the labels, who is to say what it is that you have to be restricted? Who's going to restrict you from being who you are? Who's going to restrict your truth? And I just applaud. I just applaud every woman, every male who has experienced abuse, and regardless of the length of time, allowing themselves an opportunity to speak their mind so that they can heal and give permission for others to do likewise. And I feel good on that one. Mind your mind, love it, girl.
All right.
Because that's we're all here for life, liberty, and to pursue happiness. We're here for those things. And sometimes we forget that is not only our right, but aligned with the truth that lies in the Declaration, that lies in the divine light of God. Because this is what our Creator desires for us to be. Speak your truth and live it. And tomorrow on Love Journey, Creating Solution with Mom Joy, we're going to be speaking with an emancipating spirit that I'm excited about in my community, and that is touching Chicago, and that is through the efforts of Black Pearl moving and sponsoring many workshops, and so this mental gardening is another aspect. We are people who, from the land, we are people of the land, and we come so disconnected, and it's not understanding the power and the healing and the intelligence that one can gather when you're working with the land. Oh my God! And so tomorrow, we're going to get a little more understanding about working. This is harvest time, and I know they say, well, that should be in the spring. Well, when you plant, there's a harvest. And so some of us I've got tomatoes out in my yard. I got to do some harvesting in my own yard, but it's gathering time. It's a gathering time. It's a gathering time for our minds to look over what has happened this year, the kinds of things that have gone through, and what are we going to have to do to de-weed some of these things and rethink it, because we're on a new scene, and I love the accused. As a people, we've been accused of many things, but it's time for us to stand in the truth of who we know we really are, children of a powerful God, and ready to stand in the privileges that our ancestors have paid for, and do it in love. Pretty good. Love it.
All right.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Mama Joy. We really appreciate you, and we will be tuning in to you tomorrow as we go to the phone lines at 515-605-9325. We are opening up the microphone of 773-977.
Good morning. Where are you calling from? This is Lois here in Chicago. Good morning.
Hi, Lois.
It's a blessing to be here today.
Yes, it is,
It's a
Lois.
blessing to be here today.
Yes,
It's a blessing to be here today. To know that God has had His own way.
Amen.
And you know, God, I feel that God has really done so many magnificent things in our lives. And good morning to everyone. I was never molested as a child. When I first learned about down there, I'd been married for 2 days at the age of 16 years old. And it really wasn't nothing to learn, but I didn't like it, you know. But anyway, I guess my mother and father, they were very protective of us, you know. I'm one of 10 children. As a matter of fact, I'm the youngest girl in a family of 10. And so being molested was never even thought about because my father, if there was someone coming near and Dad had heard something about him, he'd say, hey, so-and-so going to be up in the building, what have you. And if he say anything to you, try to put his hands on you, you let Daddy know. That, you know, that was the kind of thing that went on in our lives. But, you know, getting back to Bill Cosby and the judge, you know, this is just another repeat of, you know, Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill. And you know, the media is just making money. You know, and you know, the man's already in office. You know, and they just, you know, and what you said about the Supreme Court, the appellate court, the district courts. Listen, my mother was killed at Lionel Medical Center in 2002 by a student, an unsupervised student, and he stuck a 6-inch stent in her, punctured her liver, and no one could take it out for this guy. Anyway, all the lawyers wanted $22,000, $15,000 just to open the case, and so being a paralegal, I and my father, who's living, opened this case, and we won a judgment, a medical malpractice judgment in the amount of $12 million.
Cool.
And the courts to this day had it was ordered on the judgment that it was to be paid by October 5th, 2005. And to this day, there's been no collection on this. And now the conspiracy, this has gone all the way to the FBI. Lawrence Helms, he's the imposter attorney who's been representing all of the hospitals for over 35 years and never had a license. But yet, you know, and the FBI says don't make any more complaints to them about Lawrence Helms. So
really?
I mean, it's from the Supreme Court, you know, docket number 02L14299. It's from the Supreme Court, the appellate court, and they all agree with the man who never had a license. But yet they're worried about who the president went to bed with 50 years ago. You know, we're wasting time with the media, and the people aren't being helped. We as a people, a black woman winning a judgment without a lawyer in any place, you know. So that's why Dorothy Brown and Judge Max changed the docket number to 07L1342. There was nothing they could do about a judgment, you know. So so the FBI cares nothing about we as the people. All they want to do is continue killing our children, getting away with it, not letting us know what caliber of bullets are killing our children. And it's just it's a shame before God. Bill Cosby, I don't believe that they treated this man fairly. I mean, how many of these men out here haven't gone out there and gotten them a piece of? But how many men are going to go out here and rape a bunch of white women? You know, it's just it's a shame before God. And all of them have the same hairstyle as that chick on Channel 9. So we sit back and we watch these things, and what can we do about it? Lionel?
Well, peace be with you, sister. My focus is on dealing with the principles, not so much individual issues or individual cases, but understanding the principles that are involved and the historical context for judgment about all the issues because they all have similarities, but they, when you the idea of studying something from a broader context, from the big picture, gives you an opportunity to evaluate and see the common thread, the historical thread that affects all these individual issues. So, from my perspective, the history of sexuality, the history of how sexuality has been treated over the last 50 or so years in the modern world has a lot to do with all these problems that are coming up. The story, the relationship between the Catholic Church and its concepts about sexuality have a lot to do with what's going on in the Catholic Church right now and what's being exposed right now. So there are a lot of individual cases that we could talk about. But when you look at the big picture and the historical context of these issues, you start to get a better grip on what the problems really are. And I think that's where my focus would like to be. The idea of accusing people without trial, without an opportunity to hear those, to face their accusers and to have those issues dealt with is a big problem. And gossip and spreading bad information on people is something that people do out of malicious intent. And so these are issues that have to be dealt with, and the lack of genuine, sincere commitment to higher principles is at the root of all these problems.
And the problems will continue until we get to the root of things as we speak on, take another caller at area code 708-677. You are live on the air this morning with the Female Solution. Who's this and what's your name and where are you calling from?
Grand Rising, this is Maika.
Grand Rising, Sister Maika. Thank you for calling this morning.
Yes, I'm really enjoying your show. Thank you, Brother Lionel, for upholding principles because that's the most important thing. I have a lot to say about this subject in terms of the Kavanaugh case, and I will be talking about it on Let's Talk About It with Maika on Thursday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., because what I see, when I saw Ms. Ford's testimony, the thing that I got out of that more than anything else was, wow, she's a psychologist, and she don't even know how to heal herself, and she has no process of healing that she can give to women. There is a thing called real healing. Real healing is possible where because, we're electrical systems. So when we have short circuits and trauma and molestation and all that stuff is a short circuit. So it's about bringing yourself back online, just like flipping the switch, it's real. So now, I say, okay, so what's the use of psychology if you can't really heal? It's really sad. But it shows that the systems that are now in place are not functional. We have to have systems in place that operate from the basis of real principles: love, truth, justice, peace, kindness, happiness, joy. These are the things that bring things into being that are lasting, that bring civilizations into being. We are not in a civil society at any level. There's nothing civil about a death penalty. There's nothing civil about abortion.
There's nothing civil about drinking the water that you urinate and defecate in. There's nothing civil about none of that stuff and more.
I agree.
So what we have is this whole system.
Got about 30 seconds.
We're able to see that it don't work, but then we start taking sides and stuff like that rather than staying in the middle and looking for what is true. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Haaque. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for calling in, Micah. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing that show coming up on Thursday morning. Let's talk about it with Micah from 7 until 9 a.m. As we listen to our last thoughts from Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations, as we close out the program today, would you like to leave our listeners a closing thought, Lionel? We got about 60 seconds here.
Well, basically that this is like most subjects or subjects that we have to really get serious about, get real, as the young people say. I think we need to get prayerful, genuinely prayerful, in terms of getting in touch with our higher power, and if we do that, I think we'll gain a better understanding, a better grip, and be able to move forward and do what we need to do to change and bring about a better day.
Amen. Thank you so much for sharing that, and we can all start by doing our part and stop blaming and being part of the solution. In case people need to contact you, Lionel, how would they do that?
773-642-1453.
One more time for those who didn't have a pen handy.
773-642-1453.
Thank you so much, Brother Lionel Abdul Haaque of Community Cultivations. And our topic today was The Accused, from Brett Kavanaugh to Bill Cosby. What were your thoughts? We gladly appreciate them. Feel free to give us more comments on the social media website, Twitter and Instagram, as well as Zelda Speaks, Facebook, and the Female Solution, Facebook. Stay on purpose, and do remember to do that which you were given the chance and opportunity to do, because God is watching and waiting and depending on you to fulfill the assignment that you have been given. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next Monday morning mindfulness session with Zelda Speaks on Blog Talk Radio, the Female Solution. And tomorrow morning, mental health and gardening, creating solutions with Mama Joy, our global community ambassador. If you'd like to contact me during the week, 312-409-6619. You can always contact me via social media, Zelda Speaks, at Zelda Speaks, and Zelda Speaks
Leave your comments about today's show.
Facebook page. And be sure and check out zeldaspeaks.com for training information on how to earn extra money. And if you're a diabetic, want to help other diabetics, go to diabeticdonut.com. And concluding this show today in memory of our beloved Kit, the cool gent, who came up with the characters that we all love, the Electric Crazy People, the Wahoo Man, and the Creeper. I love it. Thank you for joining us. We apologize if we couldn't get in all your calls, but we'll try it again next week and see what happens. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. Make a great day. And thanks for listening. God bless.
India.
Zanyaba. Japan. Arigato. Korea. Kamsahamnida. Russia. Spasiba. Germany. Danke. Poland. Dziękuję. France. Merci. Spain. Gracias. Italy. Grazie. Egypt. Shukran. Ghana. Medasi. Nigeria. Eshe. South Africa. Ngiyabonga. Senegal. Geret. Kenya. Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakkur. Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.